So Right knows MMA Journal Canada is passionate about top-of-the-line recovery as it lets athletes and coaches complete their tasks at the best of their abilities. That's why they hooked us up with a 50% off code to help them get through their day with the best products in active recovery. Get any So Right product for 50% off now with code MMAJournalCA.
Made it happen, man.
Two things, bro. First off, you ruined that guy's wedding and his wedding night for sure. He's probably
100%. I think I'm good.
Okay, beautiful. But just the you taking the time, because I know like when guys get higher and higher in skill, each time away from training is that much more valuable. So truly appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, brother. Of course.
Fuck yeah, man. So I won't touch too much on what you and James talked about. He goes in quite depth of with the two interviews. He did one with you prior to your Dana White's fight there, and then one after. So I don't like to rehash old questions that everyone's already asked you, but it must have been insane. You got Dana White coming up to you saying, "Great fight, kid," and I want to just take it back to like, you look at the loss to Mateo Vogel, and then you compare that, right? You have that went the full distance, and then you have it ended up being a loss. It was your only loss, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you have on the other side of that, on that work, is Dana White fucking saying, "Great fight, kid." And for anyone that has any kind of doubt in the process or whether they win or lose. And one of the guys I've spoken to, they've always said win or learn is a key word. I think that you're a perfect example of that, man.
Yeah, that's a great way to summarize it. Win or learn. It's just a mindset thing. I remember like losing to Mateo, man, and like just like got in my car, drove back home, like just sat in my car a little bit, and like there was like, of course, like I was a little bit upset, but really I was just like, dude, like he just showed me where I have to get better, and like that was it. Like I was just like you got to reframe it to like, okay, I'm grateful that this guy showed me that I have to get better at this point. And that like after that, man, I've been on such a roll ever since that moment. So it's just a blessing in disguise. Again, you need a good mindset, a grateful mindset. You need to be able to look at things different ways. But yeah, I mean, some people can make those losses and build up from them, and some people they'll crumble. So it just depends on the mindset.
Highest of the highs, lowest of the lows, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. The best thing about that Contender Series fight too is obviously the length of it. Like you're untouched, you're clean, you're sexy, basically ready to go again, right? So I like you've spoken to it on the timing. The stars have kind of aligned, right? In the sense of your fight career, even working at BTC, the training center as the boxing coach there, the kids kickboxing coach there, to your fights, and even how UFC Vancouver lined up. And one of the best things you can do is, yeah, the stars aligned, but then you took that opportunity, right? It's that hard work lining up with opportunity that you're able to execute that ability, right? Because a lot of these things could happen maybe for some people, but they haven't put in the work. And you went the extra step too and introduced yourself to Sean Shelby with him already knowing you. And that's one of the biggest things you can do in this game. Is a really good boxing promoter told me one of the best things that some of these athletes can do is literally speak up and, go and introduce yourself, go and make a stink, So the fact that you did that, put on that performance after saying you were going to get a quick finish, highlight reel finish, it's just continue to align.
Yeah, it was cool. Even at the weigh-in, Sean Shelby was there, right? And then I just go to shake his hand after the weigh-ins and just be like, thank you for the opportunity. And he's like, hey, you remember me? And I'm like, he's like, I got you in here. And I was like, hey, he actually like completely remembers that interaction, right? Which is wild, man. Yeah, it was cool.
These guys too, like I've spoken to a few of these gents, the promoters and managers and stuff, and they just, I think why they're so dedicated, and you think of this game, it's massive. I even think of Dana, and you have to love the growth of each athlete. You have to love it. You not only have to love the sport, but you have to be fucking obsessed with seeing someone coming out of promotions in Canada to come down to Vegas, put on a show, get signed, and now they're, now you're in the same weight classes as Sean O'Malley, the same weight class as, every fucking 135-pound killer that we have. And, that just opens up many, many doors, especially with the whole change in belts here too. And, the whole, who knows, right? Who knows? You're clean. And it was a finish, like, it could be something that goes fast. Like, things that have been happening fast in the UFC, it seems. So this could be something that just kind of rockets off. And I hope it does, man. I really hope it does.
Yeah, buddy. That's it. I'm just like you said before, like I've been grateful for like a lot of weird little opportunities, that have happened to me just from where like the first gyms I started training in, to the coaches I met, to my job as a coach. Like, all these things just lined up, and I took the opportunities, and yeah, I mean, like, again, you can get all these opportunities, but if you're not taking advantage of them, right, it's not going to be anything. And yeah, everything's lining up, and I'm making the best out of everything. I just feel like I'm kind of writing like a script for my own movie, man. And like, that's the mindset I'm keeping. Like, when I was in Vegas the whole time, I kept reminding myself, man, like, you're the main character. Like, just treat it like you're the main character of your own movie. You're player one in a video game, like how Israel Adesanya talks about it.
Yeah.
There's something to it, man, because you operate in a way of kind of like positivity and gratitude instead of kind of like fear and nervousness, right? And that's a huge mindset shift that allows you to perform at your best.
That's a really good way to put it. Honestly, even when I do some of these chats, I get nervous just talking with some of you guys. But I even think about it like what those sentences have been said, right? Like, and in the first place, I'm not even fighting, so why the fuck should I be nervous, right? And the second part is literally make yourself that, like, okay, this is my time, I'm this character, et cetera, and just go, just put it on. And even how you said, I've been filming some fights ringside, and shit's gone slow motion and everything else is blurry, and you're focused on the one thing. And to feel that even outside of the cage because I fucking love this sport with my whole heart and soul, like, just to the death. And especially if I make a connection with an athlete and then I'm there ringside watching, filming their fight too, and doing a post-fight interview or something, it hits so fucking hard. Like, I feel like I'm a part of the team in that sense.
Right.
And so especially when I see that, and it's not like I'm getting fucking shivers right now, but when that shit happens and everything blurs out, I just imagine how it is in for you guys. And like you said, everything went slow motion. You could see everything happening, and that's exciting, dude.
Yeah, it's a peak experience. That's the best way to put it. And it's a very big high, and like, now, like, you just want to chase these moments, because moments like that, man, like, they make life so great. Like,
Yeah.
I wish everybody can feel moments like that, right? Because those definitely, like, I feel that, I'm like, wow, like, that is what life is about, and I want to feel more of these moments. And it's that, like, all that hard work, all that delayed gratification, all the sacrifices, all the things you skipped and missed, and like, it's worth all of it. I would do it over and over again just to feel that.
Again, on the biggest stage too, and signed to the biggest stage now, literally, which is just, that's the stars truly have aligned, man. Tell me about little Matt. Is he continuing to train at BTC?
Yeah, he's actually one of, like, he's been starting to cover some of my classes for boxing, so he's running some boxing classes, and lately he's got the jiu-jitsu bug, man. So he's been grappling. He actually was one of my, like, training partners this camp. Like, so Paulie, my jiu-jitsu coach, Paul Zolbert, like, we would be doing a lot of drilling sessions just for grappling and stuff. And Matt was the body. Like, I would be using Matt, and I learned from Matt too, because he's a very, very intelligent guy, and he loves the sport, studies the sport, spends all day, like, at the gym. And it's awesome because he kind of went from that, like, coach to student, like, role to, like, now we're training partners. Now, like, I'll use you in the future. The older he gets, the bigger he gets, the more of a training partner he really is for me. It's kind of crazy because it started from this one journey, and now, like, we're in it together, which is really, really cool.
That's fucking awesome, man. You even said watching the Laramie brothers as well. Tony had that big win. It was like 6-0 now in BTC, I believe.
Yeah. He just fought with BTC there. Yeah. Awesome fight.
Yeah, those guys are good guys. You said quite a bit. They're both going to be on in a few weeks. I want to have them on as well.
Yeah, so I've known about them for a very long time because one of their coaches out in Windsor, Jan, he was like a kickboxing Muay Thai coach. He started training at Tap Out Burlington, which is the gym I started at, which is actually just BTC. They just renamed it. So they came down when they were like 14, 15, trained with him. And I was just like, I didn't really know what high level in like a teenager sense, man. Like, when you're like 16, 17. And then I saw these two kids and they're honestly like they probably don't even know, but like I was just like, okay, I just gotta train as hard as these kids do. Like that's the level. Like these guys are winning boxing fights and MMA fights and jiu-jitsu tournaments, and like I was just like, okay, these are the guys I'm gonna start like trying to like look up to and like grow with because I was very similar to their age. And now like I train with TJ consistently. We spar almost every week. He comes down in Burlington. We get in work. He's getting ready for a boxing fight now, so I've been boxing with him. He helped me a ton for his fight, for my fight. Sorry, just, like stood southpaw for me. Did exactly what I needed him to do. And then get around with Tony as well when he comes down. And both those guys are so talented. And I just like the more I can just train with them, like I just feel like we can just all level each other up, and that's exactly what I need.
Especially when you guys love the game truly, right? Like that's when you're not just in there to just beat the shit out of each other, to truly actually spar hard and like technically as well, expose each other's gaps so those gaps aren't seen in the ring as little as possible, right? Because you can do all the sparring in the world and then you do meet those guys that you're like, oh shit, like I haven't done this yet, or I haven't trained this yet. I want to throw it back. 2013, I think it was your first Instagram post. Was you winning a Muay Thai fight?
Yeah.
Did you start with Muay Thai or did you start with kickboxing and boxing?
I kind of started all in MMA, like kind of a little bit of everything. But my coaches were just signing me up for whatever tournament, like whatever competition they can get me on. And I remember that fight specifically because I was like 16 at the time and I was supposed to fight another kid who was 16. And then like last second, like the kid canceled and like without me knowing, it was like some 30-year-old stepped up, like some grown man.
What?
Yeah. And I ended up fighting this grown man when I was 16 and like I ended up winning the fight, which was crazy, but like it was just wild because like I'm like looking around, I'm like, I wonder where my opponent is. When like I don't see no kids like warming up, and then I figured out, oh, that's this guy. He was like getting married like 2 weeks later too. So like we got in like a crazy war. But yeah, it was pretty cool on the confidence being like, yo, I just took out a 30, like a real grown man, like a legit guy with like real man strength. And I was like 16, just like so like fragile and stuff. But yeah, I still made it happen, man.
Two things, bro. First off, you ruined that guy's wedding and his wedding night for sure. He's probably
100%.
And second thing, Jake Bostwick from BKFC, Jake Brutal Bostwick, he got his start the exact same fucking way, man. He was 16 years old or 15, I believe. Thought a guy that was in his 30s on the weekend and then went back to school. And everyone's like, how was your weekend? And, everyone's partying and shit. He's like, oh yeah, I had a fight. It's the exact same start, bro.
Yeah, it was wild, man. It was a cool experience. Like at that point, I was like, I'm already here. Might as well just do it. But yeah, it was cool.
Jesus Christ. Tell me about BTC Kitchen. Have you been back in there at all? BTC Fight Kitchen.
No, I haven't. Sorry?
You guys did a YouTube video for some healthy oats, I believe.
Yeah, but that's funny you mentioned that because that's one thing that like me and my girlfriend, like we love like making like healthy desserts, healthy treats, healthy meals. And I was brainstorming with one of my buddies who films a lot of stuff for me and does like helps me with my reels and stuff. And he's like one of the ideas was just like doing a little bit of like kind of bringing that back and just putting that on my own social media, but like just healthy. Like dude, I love food. I'm such a foodie, but like, I'm in camp and like I try to be clean regardless because good food just makes me feel good. Shitty food makes me feel like shit, right? Just that simple. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm gonna bring back. I remember making the healthy oats, and like to be honest, man, when I made that, like I didn't think anything of it, and then people at the gym were like coming up to me and were like, "Yo, that was a crazy school video," and I didn't know you. And I was like, "Oh, this stuff seems so simple in my head, right? But it's cool to like just put it out there." And now the stuff now the stuff my girlfriend makes, man, it's so good, so high quality. So like I feel like I feel like, yeah, putting this stuff out there would be awesome. Everything's high protein, you know, lower in sugar, and it tastes amazing.
Dude, get your camera guy back in there, because even the camera work and the editing just in that kitchen was actually quite nice, honestly.
Yeah.
It looked sweet, and then at the end, how the recipe's just there and you guys are chilling and eating, it's actually cool.
Yeah, you killed it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. So were you born and raised in Burlington?
No, I was born in Ukraine, actually.
No shit.
Yeah, so I lived there till I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And then I moved with my family to Canada when I was 6. Yeah, and I lived in Toronto for a bit, lived in Oakville for a bit, but then most of my like childhood was in Burlington. Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's amazing. Holy shit. I had the honor of speaking with Tom Loeffler. He's one of the boxing promoters I was speaking about to you earlier. And I don't know if you know Callum Walsh. He's one of the big boxers right now.
Yeah.
He's the guy that runs that promotion. And he's worked with Muhammad Ali, and he was the Triple G promoter, started Triple G Promotions. And he told me him and Vladimir Klitschko, the Klitschko brothers, they started Klitschko Promotions.
That's crazy.
And he was telling me stories of working with Vladimir, and I think he was out there with Vladimir out there as the president, or is it no Vitaly? My bad. Vitaly is the current president. He sent him, they keep in touch about fights and stuff just to get Vitaly's mind off the war, off the politics and all that. And even the last guy I had Stitch on, the cut man.
Yeah.
And he told me him and Mauricio Soliman, the president of the WBC, they sent Vitaly a selfie, and he sent them back a voice note. And it's like, to my old friend Stitch, thank you so much. I would never have made my career without him. And it was cool to, you can imagine the stress that's going on out there. So to just bring them out of that, political state of what's going on, and just to go back to talking about fights again, that must mean the world to them. And,
for sure, man, 100%.
Who were your favorite fighters growing up? Because you said you watched, I think it was like Never Back Down. It was one of the movies that got you into it, right? In the Karate Kid movies.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Something like just because I was in that awkward, you're in that awkward age of like grade 8, going to grade 9, going to high school, right? I remember like just hearing all these stories about like oh man, when you get to grade 9, like you're gonna get beat up by the older kids and stuff. And I was like I was self-conscious for sure. Like as in like I didn't know I'd never been in a fight or any kind of situation. So I had no idea how I would react in one of those situations. Right. And then I remember watching that movie, and like, again, like, kid shows up to a brand new high school, gets like beat up, like, and I don't know, it just kind of resonated with me. And then like, I literally Googled MMA gyms in Burlington, Ontario. And like, that's how the journey started. And like, same thing with the Karate Kid's almost the same plot, different kind of story, like, like very similar stuff. And, yeah, those movies, man, like they definitely helped. And then when I started watching fights, like, big ones were like GSP, John Jones. And but now, like, oh, man, like, to be honest, I'm such a fan of like when I film study at this point, it's like I'm watching like all these dudes in my weight class, to be honest. I'm watching like Cory Sandhagen, I'm watching Sean O'Malley, I'm watching Cheeto Vera, I'm watching all these guys because like I like to like take different pieces from different styles and kind of blend into my own unique style, so I can learn from everybody.
Sandhagen's one of my favorites, man. When he lost, actually, like when he got choked out there, I think it was Aljamain choked him out. That just shows you the level. It's like I was so pissed off because Cory I put him up there in the entire UFC is one of the best strikers. I put him as today's Edson Barboza. Like when Barboza was at his peak, not taking anything away from him. I know he's competing soon. And he just got a great win. I actually shouldn't say that. Barboza's still looking incredible. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But he looks like another Barboza, I should say.
Yeah.
And so when Aljamain choked him up, it's like, fucking no way, right? Like it just shows you need to have that level of grappling in there.
Yeah, but it was like even like listening to I remember listening to Joe Rogan and Cory, and I think it was slightly after that fight or a few fights. I think it was after that fight, Cory went on like a 2-fight sweet KO knockout streak, right? Yeah. And they sat down, and he was just like what happened there? And he was just like, well, it was just my mindset. Like Aljo came in there to fight that day, and I was just a little too like laxy-daisy, relaxed, and like. It's cool because even at that high level, you're still learning stuff right now. Like again, he's like on a different level now, right? With the wrestling, the mixing up the level changes, stepping in with hard elbows. Like this guy's consistently evolving and getting better. And like, yeah, I think he's the top guy at bantamweight, even though he's not the champion. I think he is the top guy at bantamweight. Yeah.
I agree, man. I agree. And just, one, it's title fights or nothing. Like, if it's not next for him, at least one more or maximum one more fight, and I remember that too. He said he woke up with Aljamain running around the ring and he's like, fuck that. I never want to be that guy again. Fuck that, bro.
Yeah, 100%. But there you go. There's like a switch of mindset there, dude. Like he grew from it, man, and that's important, right? He grew from the loss to TJ Dillashaw, the split decision to Peter Yan, like, and yeah, I like that, man. I really like that mindset. And he's posted like in the past like books like on his social media and stuff, and I would just pick up those books and read them myself because I'm like, yo, this guy's successful in what he does, and if there's any knowledge you're trying to drop off for free, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Yeah.
It's funny how the internet has allowed certain things, because that's kind of how this whole thing started. It's like, how the fuck can I see people writing about fights all the time and shit, but I'm like, how the fuck can we make a bigger impact here and tell the story of the athlete, especially athlete being the number one word. It's like fighter, yes, but I think athlete, MMA and UFC, BKFC. Do you watch any BKFC at all?
I don't watch it too much, but I know, yeah.
So Lorenzo Hunt, he's the current light heavyweight champion. And he was on a podcast recently and he was saying, where the fuck is our coverage? BKFC isn't really covered too much. And I find even there's some athletes in the UFC and won championship that, you tell them to a person, and if they're a casual, which most MMA fans are, they're not going to know them. And so I wanted to kind of help in the sense of, you have an NHL player or a rookie, they go to Tim Hortons and it gets fucking front page cover, right? Like I want it to be like that for UFC fighters or for MMA fighters in Canada here, especially because I also feel like we're just growing professionally, kind of, like the laws are just changing. They just kind of changed in Ontario here. We just had our first amateur WBC Muay Thai champion crowned in April. That was pretty fucking awesome. And, UFC Vancouver, sure, we've had events in the past, but I really think like we're still yet to see a massive blow up with Canada in MMA. And I definitely know that last UFC and what BFL is doing, what BTC is doing is helping that so much.
It's skyrocketing, man. It's just a matter of time. And I think we're the era, we're the generation, like you said, dude, it's gonna happen. I feel it. I feel it I feel in my heart that it's gonna happen, man. And guy, like we're breaking in. Mike Malot's doing great things right now, right? Like growing the brand, growing the sport. I think it's gonna happen, man. I really think there's gonna be a new wave of it, especially post-COVID, Vancouver. And now they want to come back again. It's like it's just a matter of time, and it's cool that we're all gonna grow and kind of do this all together.
Yeah, and COVID, as much as it put a fucking damper on things, it kind of helped too, right? There was downtime for guys to train, and for these kind of things that have happened. Maybe if that Contender Series happened 2 years prior, maybe you don't get the dub. Not that it wouldn't happen, not that there's any delay, but you never know. All these things happen for a reason. So
100%. I literally during COVID just trained all the time. I had no responsibilities, right? It was just like cool, train, come home, take a nap, go back, train, and that's where like COVID happened right after the Mateo loss. Like I'm not even kidding, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks after we had our first lockdown.
Bro.
And I'm like, oh well, I guess I know what I have to work on. You know what I mean? Like I have it right here. Like I know, and like my coach Lena Whitlock was like a high level grappler. Me and him just grappled all the time. Yeah. Like I got so much work in every single day, just training. So yeah, like everything happens for a reason, man. Yeah.
That visualization that Mike Malott ran through with you, you said helped was a major key. Are you going to continue to do that for the rest of the fights moving forward as well? Because you also said this last one, you're trying to do it. What would a world champion do? And fucking follow all those steps: getting blood work done, saliva done. Making sure you're completely dialed in. Are you just going to keep that route? Is it full time? This is fucking what's going on now.
Yeah, dude. Like optimize everything. Optimize my sleep. Optimize my recovery. Optimize my nutrition. go to the blood work, get the labs, surround myself with the most intelligent people, right? A black belt in nutrition, a black belt in recovery, a black belt in like mindfulness, a black belt in movement and stuff. Like I'm just trying to find all these smart people, man. Like a black belt in strength and conditioning. I have these people, and they're slowly, like, as I keep like building and developing, the right people are like coming into my life. And they're just like, and I'm just like, I'm so eager to learn, and whatever can make me like 1% better, I'll do it. I'll do it, man, because if I add up these 1% over time, like I'm gonna be like on a different level than all these people. So again, that's why I look at what the champions are doing. I listen to podcasts, and I love listening to Sean O'Malley talk. I love listening to Cory talk. I'm listening to podcasts with Cheeto right now and listening to how his brain works, because I'm like, these guys are where I want to be. Like, what are they doing? And I just do that stuff, and then good habits over a period of time, staying consistent, like I'll get to where I need to go. Like I just have to follow those good habits. I got to stay consistent. I got to win one day at a time. That's just my mindset with this.
That's perfect, man. And for folks that kind of have a closed off mind, where they even have a hard time, just, you hear them coming back and like, oh, fucking traffic and blah, blah, like those kind of folks in that sense, those opportunities I find don't really come because they're not really ready to learn, ready to grow, don't have the patience for these kinds of things to happen, right? So for example, I was living in Vancouver when UFC Vancouver happened, and it's kind of funny how this whole thing happened too, because the timing of it was crazy. For I had some shit fall on my back. I was a chef, and just fucked my back up, so I was sitting there all fucked up and didn't know what to do. It happened in March, and one championship was on, and I watched the lightweight Muay Thai championship, and it was 4 a.m. I woke up to like back spasms, right? And it was kind of funny, the stars just aligned. Like Regan Ursel won the title. I shot him a message on Instagram and he replied, and that was my first guy. I was like, no fucking way, my first one, I'm getting the champ of one championship, fuck yeah. So, but I've been loving the sport with all my heart for 4 years consistently. Like I was always a combat sports fan, but just every weekend, if anyone's like, let's go partying, I'm like, no, there's fights on Friday, Saturday, fuck that. With not being able to train because I've had back injuries, like 3 previous back ones. So that's why I love the sport, because it's been such a fight for me to even get up and move and lose weight, because I ballooned up to like 300 pounds. I was a big boy.
Wow.
And I'm coming back down off of another one. I put on some, but the training and the fights that I see, watching you guys get back up after getting knocked down, or just keeping fighting when you're exhausted, that's really helped me mentally. And I spoke with I was just in Italy to cover the WBC Muay Thai Festival, and I had the honor of meeting Liam Harrison. Are you aware of him?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the honor of meeting his coach, and he's like, some people say it's 50-50 mental body. He's like, fuck that, it's 80-20. It's 80 fucking 20 mental to body, 100%.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%, man.
I know you got to go to the gym here quickly, so I won't take too much more of your time. I do like to do a little combination breakdown thing where I add the clip of your fight and the sexy combination that was done.
Cool.
This one happened, and you were fighting. It was the rematch against Avinash in BFL, or was it BTC?
BTC.
Yeah. So it was after a pretty comfortable round 1 for you. I think it was the last minute in round 1. Yeah, it was. You guys were on the ground, and right in the last minute of round 1, you got up after being on the ground, and you hit him with a strong. This happened over 8 seconds, so it wasn't a quick combination, but the exchange was beautiful. How you set this up, it was fucking ridiculous, actually. So right after getting up, you hit him with a strong jab, and you kind of dance around to hit him with a strong outside leg kick. Notice strong, because you watch them and they're fucking. You can basically hear them, even if you're not using headphones. You can hear them. Strong outside leg kick, and it's an overhand right feint. You come in with a huge overhand right feint, and you bop him with like a left check hook, and that pushes him back even further. And it was just that, like, it was these things where you see the pages, Muay Thai is art, or fighting is art. It was one of those where you could put a fighting is art caption over it. It was just fucking beautiful, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, like it's crazy, man, because like the best way I can describe when I'm fighting, man, I'm like, I just like right before I walked out on the Contender Series fight, I went to the bathroom and I looked myself in the mirror and I just like stared myself in the eyes and I was just like, just let this happen. Allow your highest self to perform. Take your ego mind out of this. Let your body do the actions that it knows how to do. Like let your subconscious perform. And I remember looking myself in the eyes, saying a mantra that I was kind of repeating over time in camp and just being like, let your highest self perform because your highest self is gonna, it's not gonna fail you. Your ego is gonna fail you. You know, when you try too hard, that's gonna fail you. That's when you're rigid. That's when you're not flowing. And I remember just like feel like having a feeling of just like letting go. And I've been able to do that more and more, like fight after fight. Like, and when I get into those moments, like my feet, my coordination, my timing, my shot selection, it all just comes naturally. It's almost like I can't even take, it's almost like I can't even take like what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even like when people ask me how'd you do that, I'm like, I don't know, man. My high self did it. Like I can't even put into words how I did it. It's a weird feeling, man. But the more I do it, the more I trust it. You know, the more I trust myself to like just like when it's time for that fight or flight mode, like as long as I follow my breath, I'm present in the moment, like my highest self will do it. And then I'll get to go watch it afterwards. And it's like I'm watching it without even realizing how I did it. Like when I finished that last fight, man, like the way my feet moved in and out, I was like, don't even know, don't know how I did it. Don't know. Don't even, not even gonna question it. I'm not even gonna question it. You know what I mean? Like it just happened and it's my high self, dude. And like that's the person that I need to come out for that fight, man. And I don't even question it. I don't even take like compliments from it because I'm like, it's not me, man. It's my highest self. It's like that person that like, you know, like it's in there. I don't know. I don't really know what to describe with that, but like, yeah, it's a weird feeling. I'm still trying to understand it more, but like, I'm just trying to tap into that energy because that energy, that's when things slow down. That's when my cardio never gasses out. That's when all distractions are gone and all I can hear is my coach's voice. Like, it's like a weird state. And like, I'm just like, whatever this is, I need to lock this in every time. And if I do, I will be a world champion.
Is it like almost the same feeling as when you get a fucking like bonkers runner's high?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I would think. Like I'll be going and I'll be thinking of like, you know, I'll be kilometer 6 or 7 dying and I'll think of like I'm like a little bit Native American, so I'll think of like my Native American ancestors hunting. I'll be running and I'll boost and I'll see a squirrel and I just want to rip into it.
Dude, it is. It's like a primal thing that like, yeah, like your body's just like our bodies are so intelligent, man. Like we're like such intelligent computers, man. Like it's just all the conditioning in our brains that have wired us in a certain way where like, you know, all these like negative programmings and stuff, they actually just block us. So it's not about like adding in things, it's like removing all the negative programming and becoming your true self, whatever that person is, man. Like whatever that soul thing is, right? Like it's hard to describe, but like yeah, like literally what you said, like that's what it is, man. And I'm just tapping into it more and more. Like every fight, like I'm getting into it deeper, and I'm just like, whoa, like I don't even know what level I can get to here, but like I'm gonna keep pushing and keep trying to figure this out. And like again, a lot of it is being mindful. Like all day on fight day, dude, I just did meditation, chilled for a bit, did another meditation, did a body scan, chilled for a bit, read a passage from a book, chilled a bit. Like no social media, no phone, no outside distractions. And I did that all the way up till the fight. You know what I mean? And like I was just so clear, so focused, so present. And I'm like, that's the recipe.
Fuck, man. That's brilliant, dude. I'm gonna remember that. Let my highest self perform for especially those situations. You could even use that honestly every fucking day if you truly mean it to be your best self in just a relationship setting. You know,
Bro, I try 100%. Even when I'm coaching kids, you know, and I'm a little frustrated. I have to like be aware of it and remind myself, man, because yeah, that's it. Like that's just being your high self, man, trying to make somebody's day a little bit better, you know, having the patience, all those little things, they add up. And then you sit back at the end of the day and like I journal every single day. So I have a little checklist of like things I wanted to accomplish and, you know, things I've done well that day. And like I can like sit back and be like, damn, dude, like today was a win. Today was a win. Like I took full advantage of my day and I do that every day, man. Like, it's so important for me to like make sure that I'm winning every single day.
Nice.
I'm positively impacting people every single day, and I'm leveling up every single day, dude. And that's it just sets you up for a happy life, man. I'm just so like happy and grateful every day. I wake up with a smile on my face, like it's awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Do you need to hit the gym there for 3?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was
All right.
235. Yeah, brother.
Okay. No, I again, I appreciate that time, man. And that's the way to do it, dude, is waking up with that gratitude, realizing those spots where, whether it be the universe or God or whatever is placed for you to take advantage of. And also another thing is having those eyes, right? Because these things could happen, like I said, with if you're another type of person, if you don't have those eyes to see these things happening, to see that you are getting frustrated at a kid's class, or to see that, okay, I need to cool the fuck down, or I need to work on this, to have that kind of third voice or second voice in us, and then actually acting on it, because to be honest, dude, I just moved here to Toronto 2 weeks ago, and dude, every day I'm like gonna get up at 6 a.m. because there's a gym downstairs and there's a pool downstairs. Gonna get up at 6 a.m. Gonna go work out. Gonna go train before I walk the dog or whatever. Fucking haven't done it once, So, dude, honestly, this conversation is. I'm gonna keep myself accountable. I'll shoot you a message too to let you know, but I'm gonna get back in there, man, 100%.
And yeah, bro, and here's the thing too, man. That's cool that you say that, because like I've been there, bro. Like, where I've journaled, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I didn't. But then over time, I slowly started doing the things. And then I'm like, damn, you kind of get a momentum switch, right?
Yeah.
And then I fall off.
Yeah.
And then I started again. Yeah. And then I fall off. And then I just realized, oh shit, this is just a process. And I'm just going to continue this process over and over again, bro, because I've fallen off more times than I can count, bro.
Okay.
But the more I get back onto it, the less I fall off, the longer the consistency streak lasts. And now it's like, I fall off way less than when I started, but I still look like back at my like beginning of my pro career and how many times I fell off, dude. Just keep coming back on it, right? I think that's the key, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bro, I appreciate your time so much, man. And
of course, man, that was a great talk.
Dude, we'll keep in touch, and give me a shout when you got your next fight news. And also congrats on being signed to Sucker Punch. Massive, honestly. That's huge. Hall of Famers are signed to Sucker Punch. You had Jens Pulver just got in there. So
yeah,
you got a massive bright future ahead of you. I'm glad you're representing Ukraine and Canada, bro, and just keep doing you.
Thank you, brother. Talk soon.
Fuck yeah, bro. Have a good day.